Beaver Lady at Superior Finds, and these are the sales from August the 12th, 2024 to September the 11th, 2024. So it was an average week, a little bit underwhelming. My total sales right here were $5,817.60. And just ignore this on the side. These counter offers, these have already been sold, but they keep on popping up. So my selling costs were over $2,000. My net sales were over $3,142.36. And this is what was on eBay for last week. And my average sale is $35.47, which is 7.8% higher than the prior time period. So that does make me happy. Less sales does not mean less money. So let's get into some of the things that I've sold. Let's start this episode today with framed art. So these are two Victorian themed lithograph prints in a gold matting with a gilt frame. I don't sell a lot of art. It is a long tail item, just to let you all know. So if you do want to flip quick, you may want to pass art up, unless it's a really good print, well known, and you know it's going to sell quickly. And just excuse my little, I keep on getting these two items that I sold pop up with counter offers. So I think eBay is a little confused today. So I actually had these Victorian prints since May of 2022. So that's over 2 years. I purchased these on an online auction, and this online auction was filled with Victorian type of decor, and I did buy a lot. It filled my whole car. And so these are one of the items. I did list these for $49.99. I took a best offer of $40. Now, each lot that I listed from this auction came out to $5.08, and my net total that I made from these were $20.35. The next thing I sold was this very cute brass crab trinket box. It's very small, but it has a cute beachy, beach house, lake house type of decor vibe going on. I did list this for $34.99, and it did sell for full price. I had this listed since July 8th, so it took about 2 months to sell. And I bought it in an estate sale for $8, making my net total $24.05 after fees. One of the larger items that I sold this past week was this very big 30-inch brass and copper wall decor. Now I do find a lot of these, and when I do, I always buy them as long as they are priced right. I ended up getting this one in a bin just full of the brass wall decor, and it was at a garage sale. I purchased the whole bin for, I believe it was like $5-6, so it came out to $1 per item. I did accept the best offer of $25 just because this had been sitting for about 3 months. I did list it about 3 months ago. And I net $24.55. Now, you all may be remembering this from my last online auction haul. I got this beautiful Christian Dior vintage satin robe. Now, I'm not sure. I'm still listing all of the items that I got in that haul because it's a lot of items. So I'm just going to guesstimate that each item that I won on this auction is going to cost probably maybe about $4 in inventory fees. And when I do have that amount, I will let you know how much it actually is. So I had this listed for $45.99, but someone did give me an offer for $40, and I said, okay, sure. So $40 I took, and I only had this listed a week, and my net The net that I got from this was $27.79. So not too bad at all. This was a nice sale. Now this is an item I do sell a lot of, and that is blazers. I do pick up a lot of men's blazers. They have to be a certain type of fabric. I do look for the cashmeres, the wools, the silk. I love elbow patches when I do look for blazers. I look for name brand when I look for blazers. So this one is a Bacroc blazer, which the name brand it wasn't a factor in me choosing this. However, it was new with tags, and the tag states that it was $295 brand new. Another factor was it's a cashmere wool blend. And so yeah, I picked this up at my local Salvation Army for $8.48. It did sit for a year, and my blazers will do that. So if you do want to sell blazers, just make sure you do have the inventory space and make all the measurements. I do make the measurements on length, on chest, between from shoulder to shoulder, the sleeves, and the waist. So I'm very, very concise with my measurements, and this really does help the buyers. And if the buyer has to choose between a listing with measurements, between a listing where they have to ask the seller for measurements, they're going to go with the one with the measurements. So yeah, so this was a nice blazer. And I did take an offer of $60. It was listed at $75.98, and since it had been listed a year, why not? $60 is still a great price, and I net $29.53. One of my other favorite things to sell are Christmas tree skirts. This I got from my local Goodwill in February. Ralph Lauren with the tags, brand new, great pattern. If the diameter is not listed, I always make a measurement. And so yeah, this sold for $33.65. I believe I gave a best offer from the $35.99. It took 7 months to sell, which does make sense since this is a Christmas item. And now that we're heading into that season, I'm going to see a lot more of my Christmas tree skirts sell. And yes, when I do see a Christmas tree skirt, as long as it's not all stained up and not just a very basic skirt, I snatch these up all day long. So I don't know if I said this before, but I did buy it for $4. And my net on this was $24.24. Now, I don't know if you're noticing a trend here on my net profits. They are in the $20 range, and I really love having these profits between $20 and $30. These items are easier to find, and just 4 of them makes $100. So that's how I see it. So if my daily goal of net profit is $145, then I really only need to sell about 6 or 7 items in that $20 to $30 range to make my goal profit of that day. So yeah, I really do like to see that. That's the range that I am comfortable in. So here is another vintage robe that I sold this week. This is an Herbcraft chenille robe. Chenille is a very good fabric for robes. So when I find this type, I absolutely always buy it. And when I say chenille, look at the ribbed. It's so it's kind of like a corduroy. I guess I would describe it that way, but very, very soft. Now, I did get this robe from my last online auction with the Christian Dior robe. She really did have some nice robes. And so I just said, okay, I went with it and said, I guess I'm going to sell robes. Those are going to be a good profit for this online auction. So again, I don't have a clear inventory cost yet. So I'm just going to say $4. That's an average. I only listed this for 2 weeks before it sold. I had it listed for $45.99. I did accept a best offer for $40, much like the Christian Dior robe. And my net profit was $32.70. Now, no what sold video of mine would be complete without some type of linen. And I sold this gorgeous pink curtain panel. It's really very pretty with the lace. And I always take pictures when they are sheer of how they look in the sunlight, because a lot of times if I just photograph with a flat lay, they can be of a different color or hue when in the sunlight on the window itself. So it's always important to have something to compare the color with. So I listed this curtain about a month ago. In early August. I did buy it from a thrift shop, probably my local St. Vincent de Paul's, for $2.12. It sold for $17.84 on a best offer, so it was $19.50. But I just said, fine, this is still a good price. And I had a net profit of $14.26. Now, I acquired 4 Pyrex flameware, the glass dinnerware from my friend who sources from me. I got 2 teapots, a double boiler, and a saucepan. Now, everything has sold so far except the saucepan. This teapot sold for full price at $20.99. I have not gone through all of my inventory that my friend sourced for me, so I'm just going to say it's a generic cost of $4 for now. I only had this listed a week, so I may have listed this a little bit too low. However, I was going by the model numbers. So right here where it says the 8446B. Now there are other teapots. Like I said, I had another one, but that is another model number. And that went for a little bit higher. So when you do get these Pyrex, be sure to look at the comps from that model number. And like I said, I listed this. It took about a week. And my net profit was $16.74. And I shipped it in a 10 by 8 by 6 box. I double wrapped it with a big bubble wrap, and I put cardboard. I lined the box with cardboard to make it almost like a double box, and it did make it safely. Now here's another curtain I sold. This, I loved the trim on this, and I'll zoom up a little bit closer. Isn't that awesome right there? It is just really delicate and dainty. This is, of course, a vintage curtain panel. JCPenney made it. The tag was still there. You know, it has the 70s colors. This was really, really cool. Now, I did take a best offer. This had been listed in May, which it's not that long for linens, but I did take an offer. It was listed at $37.99, but I accepted $29. And I only paid $2.65 for this curtain, and it was in May, so I'm going to say probably at my local St. Vincent de Paul's thrift store, or another thrift store just like it. And yeah, it took 4 months to sell, and my net was $21.42. But this is so easy to ship. I already have it pre-packaged, of course, and I do have another one. So in case anyone is really liking these, let me know. Okay, let's switch to Etsy. So I picked up these knobs. Actually, it was from this big bag of assorted knobs I found in my local Salvation Army store. I believe I bought the whole bag for $6, so each lot from that bag only then cost me 66 cents. So these were sold for $38.99 with shipping included in that price. So I do free shipping for my Etsy. And you know, these are so easy to ship. I just put them in a little poly mailer, well, they're in a little bag, in a little poly mailer, and then they're ready to go. So these took about a month and a half to sell, and my profit on these were $29.73. Something else I sold on Etsy were these vintage Villager Liz Claiborne King pillow shams. The first picture, I'm going to admit it really sucks. It's a really blurry picture. Luckily, this picture saved it here, as did this one. And there's the tag, the 100% cotton. Now, these did sell for $35.99 with free shipping. I bought them for $3, probably at my local Goodwill. It took 4 months to sell, and my net profit after shipping and fees was $18.90. So I really like this sale. I am not sure where I acquired this bolo. So it's I bought it for $3.53. So I'm thinking, gee, that's a really strange price that I bought it for. However, that's okay, because from $3.53, I sold this for $77.99 with free shipping. It took me 6 months to sell, and my net profit was $62.69. So it was sterling silver. Let's see here. Yeah, right here on the back, you can see where it was stamped. But yes, very easy. Okay, y'all, now we are on Mercari. So I sold this vintage Trip New York City moto jacket for $36, and this was free shipping as well. So Etsy and Mercari, I do offer free shipping. This jacket I bought for $4 at my local Goodwill. It took 2 months to sell, and my net was $24.57. Here's a more contemporary tablecloth that I listed in the beginning of August. This Croft & Barrow, the red paisley is a great design, a great pattern. It sold for $28 with free shipping. I bought this for only $2 at my local Goodwill. So listed for a month, and my net profit was $19.18. Like I said, with all my other linens, very easy to ship, and this had a really nice turnaround, and I'm liking the profit, almost $20. So let's take a look at Poshmark now. This is a contemporary London Fog woman's short trench coat. It had a really great blue, purple, violet color. It was listed for $27, and they bought it full price. I bought it for $3.50 at my local Goodwill. I listed it about a month ago and made a profit of $18.10. So really not a bad sale. Very, very quick. And right here, this is how I put my measurements down. I put the length here. Since it is a longer coat that goes past the waist, I do add the waist as well. And here we have the last sale I'm going to show you today. This is a vintage men's Detroit Lions sweater. It's a V-neck fleece. This I got for free because it belonged to my partner. The buyer paid $36, and this sat for about 6 months. Now it's football season, right? So sports, NFL, it's selling. I net $28.80 on this sweatshirt. So again, nice profit. So okay, everybody, that is my sales of the week. I didn't really have anything extraordinary to show you. However, I hope that you're taking into account that my net profits were between the $20 and $30 mark. And the bolo type necklace was a great sale as well. I really am wanting it to pick up in the next few weeks. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready for that rush. I'm ready for the extra income that all of us resellers receive during this time. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. And you all have a fabulous week.